Hi friends! Welcome to Chat and Read with Tara. How are you doing today? I have a question for you today. If you were to create your own creature out of anything in the world or not in the world, what would it be like? Would you take pieces of things that already exist, like a cat head, and put it on a toaster body? Would you give it a crazy name like Loopy Neeble Neefu? You can do anything you want because it's your imagination, and that's what's super cool. Artists use their imaginations all the time and they get to share it with other people. You can too, by drawing or writing stories or making games or songs, anything. The story that I'm going to read to you today is by a very creative artist who does make up fun words and silly words. It's called His Shoes Were Far Too Tight by Edward Lear, and this collection of stories is masterminded by Daniel Pinkwater and illustrated by Calef Brown. The story you're going to hear is called The Jumblies. You're going to hear the word sieve mentioned a lot of times. So what's a sieve? Well, a sieve is kind of like a strainer, but a sieve has really tiny holes so it can filter things out that you put in. This is not a sieve. This is a colander. I didn't have a sieve, but I do have a loose tea strainer. That could have been better to show you, but this is what I've shown you. So when you hear that word, because you'll know what I'm talking about. I hope you enjoy the story. The Jumblies by Edward Lear. From the collection His Shoes Were Far Too Tight by Edward Lear, masterminded by Daniel Pinkwater and illustrated by Calef Brown. They went to sea in a sieve, they did. In a sieve they went to sea. In spite of all their friends could say, on a winter's morn, on a stormy day, in a sieve they went to sea. And when the sieve turned round and round, and everyone cried, "You'll all be drowned!" they called aloud, "Our sieve ain't big, but we don't care a button, we don't care a fig. In a sieve we'll go to sea." Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. They sailed away in a sieve, they did. In a sieve they sailed so fast, with only a beautiful pea-green veil tied with a ribbon by way of a sail to a small tobacco pipe mast. And everyone said who saw them go, "Oh, won't they soon upset, you know? For the sky is dark and the voyage is long, and happen what may, it's extremely wrong in a sieve to sail so fast." Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. The water, it soon came in, it did. The water, it soon came in. So to keep them dry, they wrapped their feet in a pinky paper all folded neat, and they fastened it down with a pin. And they passed the night in a crockery jar, and each of them said, "How wise we are! Though the sky be dark and the voyage be long, yet we never can think we were rash or wrong, while round in our sieve we spin." Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. And all night long they sailed away, and when the sun went down, they whistled and warbled a moony song to the echoing sound of a coppery gong in the shade of the mountains brown. "Oh, Timballo, how happy we are when we live in a sieve and a crockery jar. And all night long in the moonlight pale, we sail away with a pea-green sail in the shade of the mountains brown." Far and far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. They sailed to the western sea, they did, to a land all covered with trees. And they bought an owl and a useful cart and a pound of rice and a cranberry tart and a hive of silvery bees. And they bought a pig and some green jackdaws and a lovely monkey with lollipop paws and 40 bottles of Ringbo Ree and no end of Stilton cheese. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. And in 20 years, they all came back, in 20 years or more, and everyone said, "How tall they've grown, for they've been to the lakes and the Torrible Zone and the hills of the Chankly Bore." And they drank their health and gave them a feast of dumplings made of beautiful yeast. And everyone said, "If we only live, we too will go to sea in a sieve to the hills of the Chankly Bore." Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. The end.